Category 5 Typhoon Ragasa battering northern Luzon. Well, this exceptional super typhoon has been pummeling the northernmost Philippine islands over the course of today, now located at 19.5 degrees north, 121.1 degrees east as it continues moving westerly towards the South China Sea. The latest at 5 p.m. Philippine time, estimated wind speed of 160 miles per hour and a pressure around 906 millibars. And as you can see, it is now moving through the rest of the Babuyan Island group, making direct hits on Babuyan Island and on Calayan Island as well. Most recently, the storm's eye wall is just about to enter again after the eye has just passed over that island. Well, the wind field extends out 225 nautical miles on those northernmost quadrants, and of course with those very powerful winds towards the centre, Signal 5 warnings remain in effect for the Babuyan group of islands. It is just 30 kilometers from Calayan Island now, but now moving away. 108 from Pagudpud, 154 from Laoag City, 355 from Kaohsiung, Taiwan, and 805 from Hong Kong. Signal 4 warnings are also still in effect for the rest of the for southern Batanes actually, Signal 3 for the northern Batanes, and Signal 4 warnings in effect for the northern coast of Luzon, Cagayan province, as well as Ilocos Norte. Well, winds of over 250 kilometers per hour are continuing on some of the Babuyan group of islands this evening, with dangerous winds affecting wide areas of northern Luzon and stretching to the southern tip of Taiwan for the rest of the day. Dangerous winds are likely for southern China and Hong Kong on Tuesday night and Wednesday, and as such, the most primary hazard right now is the wind speed from this storm, but of course rainfall is also going to be a big factor. Taking a look at the forecast over the next 5 days or so, the storm may not actually have that long. It's going to start weakening, passing just to the south of Hong Kong and then along the coast of China, possibly making landfall, quite powerful one there, moving through the Leizhou Peninsula, weakening substantially into the Gulf of Tonkin, and if it makes it to the coast of Vietnam, it will dissipate not long after. As you can see, our latest estimate has the storm dissipating somewhere along the border between Vietnam and Laos. Well, 160 mile per hour winds right now, supported by the JTWC as well, although satellite estimates have gone down a fair bit. They're now holding at about 150 miles per hour, although I think that's a little bit unfair. The storm is starting to show signs of weakening, and it probably will lose Category 5 status in the near future in a matter of hours, and then we'll start to see this gradual weakening trend continue. There's another look at the map from Pagasa, showing all of the signal warnings that are in effect, with Signal 1 warnings extending as far south as northern Quezon, and Signal 2 warnings in effect for a big chunk there of north-central Luzon as well. The JTWC forecast cone calls for the storm to make its closest approach to Hong Kong as a Category 4, possibly dropping down to a Category 3, and then passing close to Macau and then moving towards the coast of mainland China. And this is the forecast from the GFS model, taking a fairly similar track actually. Typhoon force winds just barely nudging the coast of Hong Kong and Macau, and then the storm moves inland, weakens very quickly. Take a look at this though, the next system behind it there, that's now been tagged 92W, and that is going to be affecting the Philippines as well by the looks of things, moving through the northern Visayas region and then on towards the South China Sea. The GFS now reckons that that next system is going to become a significant typhoon as well, also for the coast of Vietnam. Could be briefly a Category 3 there just before that landfall. Taking a look at the simulated reflectivity, showing the strong core of the storm persisting up until pretty much its closest pass or landfall in China. That is still at least a couple of days away. And then residual rainfall after that, which is going to compound things in the central Philippine Islands as well, with that next storm approaching too. But certainly there's going to be massive amounts of rainfall for Taiwan over the course of tonight into tomorrow as well. Behind it, it's dragging along a big band there too for the western mountains of Luzon and possibly for Mindoro, other hilly areas there as well. And then of course that next storm sweeps in too. So a really wet picture over the course of the next 7 days for the Philippines and for Taiwan. And it looks like those Taiwanese mountains are still going to be getting the highest amount of rainfall out of anywhere over the course of the next 7 days. The forecast there is for an additional 26 inches of rainfall. That is 650 millimeters. And for parts of the northern part of Luzon, getting up and above 400 millimeters. Also for western Luzon as well, and for Mindoro, by the looks of things, getting up towards the 400 millimeter mark. Even for parts of Panay, with that next storm as well, getting up there too. Hong Kong, possibly 150 millimeters. Manila, now expecting an additional 100 millimeters of rain. Looking at the sea surface temperatures ahead of both of these storms, as it now may well be, those temperatures still looking very good. At least 28 or 29 degrees Celsius, and it's probably higher than that. These numbers read a little bit low because it is in fact measuring air temperature on this model run above the water rather than the actual sea surface temperatures. Here's some International Space Station video earlier on from when the storm was looking at its most beastly. What a picture that is, by the way, with this massive pinwheel eye that this storm has been demonstrating over the course of the daylight hours today. Really incredible imagery here, and I think there is one more appearing here as well, very bright, but just catching the edge of that eye. I'm sure better pictures will be coming out over the next few days from astronaut photography. And this is what we're looking at over the course of the last couple of hours. The storm's eye is still very much over Calayan Island there. It's just about to sink back into the southeastern eye wall now. I'm looking at a more zoomed out picture showing you the storm's progress. Still a west-northwesterly motion, almost westerly at times, but there are signs that cracks are starting to appear now as we take a look at the infrared imagery, which we'll be looking at in just a second. But clearly very close to northern Luzon, throwing tons of convection and strong winds all along the coastline there. Eye temperature still looking pretty good as well. It's around 18 degrees Celsius, which is pretty much around what it's been ever since it reached Category 5 status. And here's another view from the Force 13 website. You can check out this imagery live, force13.com/satellite. A little bit glitchy in one or two of those frames there. This is the water vapor imagery there as well. Still looking extremely powerful, but just those very latest frames showing signs that things are getting a little bit more discombobulated, certainly so on the enhanced infrared, where we're starting to see the northern eye wall in particular there shrinking a little bit in its size, certainly in terms of those highest cloud tops, and the eye shape is getting a little bit more oblong as well, and may be beginning to feel the effects there of that land interaction. So what I expect will happen here is that the eye may well start shriveling up fairly soon, and that the storm may end up going in for another eye wall replacement cycle. Luckily we've got radar here as well that actually tells us the picture what's going on structurally inside the storm. Looks pretty good to me. Doesn't look like there's any sign of an eye wall replacement cycle or anything like that yet. Certainly on radar, very impressive. Northern side we're seeing more of there, really ferocious bands. Here's a very wide shot looking through the Philippine region there as well over the course of the last few hours, and the storm showing just how fairly large it is. Its influence extending all the way pretty much to Okinawa, and on the southern side really entangled in with all of that monsoonal showers down in the South China Sea. Elsewhere around the world, we've got Tropical Storm Nando, which formed last night along the coast of Mexico. Hurricane Gabrielle, which is now near Bermuda and strengthening. And of course, in the Western Pacific, we've got the two current typhoons. Ragasa, of course, still 160 miles per hour, and the Oguri, which we've now put down to 110 miles per hour, moving northeasterly at this point, still with a fairly uncertain future.